I start a new day, listening to the birds sing. I find it very soothing to listen to them chatter and call. And while the lorikeets and rosellas sing high in the trees, a flock of chlorellas are digging up their breakfast. Throughout my life, birds have been a constant companion, and they've taught me much, including about the nature of freedom and how to use one's voice. And now that I've enjoyed a moment's rest with the sky messengers, I turn homeward. This week I've been working on a project inspired by another favourite book of mine, The Secret Garden. And for this project, I've been making spun cotton robins. And while making mini robins, an idea popped into my mind, and that is, why don't I make a mini birdcage for the dollhouse? So I invite you to join me, Wonder Weavers, as I create a mini robin and a mini Victorian-inspired birdcage. So let us begin with the robin, and we will make first the bird's armature. I've cut a short length of pipe cleaner, and the cleaner into an S shape, and then I wrap around the pipe cleaner cotton. This is cotton from a cotton ball that I've unraveled. And as you can see, I've wrapped more cotton around the body or the belly of the robin. I glue down the fibres with a PVA glue and water mixture, which I'm applying with a paintbrush, and I'm also using my fingers to sculpt the body of the bird. And for the bird's tail, I wrap a wisp of cotton around the pipe cleaner. And for the bird's beak, I add a wisp of cotton. I glue it down, and with my fingers I sculpt the cotton. And as I sculpt, I imagine the shape of the robin's beak. A robin's beak is short, thin, and straight. As you can see, Wonder Weavers, I've made 3 robins, and the smallest one will go in the bird cage. Now that I've finished sculpting the birds, I'm adding colour. Instead of painting with gouache, this time I'm using watercolour pencils. I'm first activating the pencils in clean water and then applying the paint. To seal the colour, I apply a layer of PVA glue and then leave the birds to dry. During the Victorian period, birds were a popular pet. Birds of all kinds were kept, including wrens, robins, and parrots. Meanwhile, bird cages were made from a range of materials, including brass, wrought iron, wire, and wood. And while looking at examples online, I was surprised to learn that some even included glass. Another thing that struck me is that many were handcrafted and were elaborate or ornate. Some were made in the images of palaces or castles. So these more ornate bird cages captured my imagination, and so I'm going to make mine from a range of materials including cardboard, paper, wire, and a few other bits and bobs that I have here in my studio. For the base and the ceiling, I'm using 3 pieces of cardboard. I glued 2 of them together to form the base. And as you may notice, Wonder Weavers, my bird cage is going to be rectangular in shape as opposed to circular. In my sketchbook, I had a play and came up with a design for the exterior of the bird cage. I then created a template. Off camera, I traced the design, and now I'm transferring it to craft paper. And as you can see, I've created a pattern so that all of the sides sit together and this means that I can simply cut and fold the pattern to create one piece. Using my lines as a guide, I then cut out the windows. Next, I fold the paper. I trim any excess. On the internal side of the birdcage, I glue short lengths of metal wire vertically. I'm going to add imitation window glass to the exterior of the birdcage. And for the imitation glass, I'm going to upcycle a sheet of acetate, and from craft paper, I cut out window frames. For the roof of the birdcage, I'm going to upcycle this perfume bottle lid. The lid will be supported by the corrugated cardboard and also this rectangular piece of craft paper that I've cut out. I want to be able to see through the dome, so I'm cutting a circle out of both the craft paper and the cardboard, and these are both the same diameter as the lid. For decoration, I glue short lengths of metal wire to the lid. Next, I turn to painting the birdcage, and I would like it to have a wood-like appearance. I first score lightly the paper with my hobby knife. Next, with my burnt umber watercolour pencil, I draw lines. I also use my terracotta watercolour pencil. Next, I stain the paper, and for this I'm actually using the walnut wood stain that I purchased when I replaced the first floor of the dollhouse. Wood stain can warp certain types of paper, so I made sure to test it on a small piece of craft paper before applying it to the birdcage. While the cardboard and paper are drying, I make a perch. I thread a bugle bead onto a short length of gold wire. I then glue my robin Now it is time to assemble the birdcage, and I begin by gluing the imitation glass or the acetate sheet to the window frames. Then with hot glue, I glue the sides to the base. Before gluing the ceiling in place, I position the perch. You can secure the perch in different ways. You can, for example, hook both ends of the perch to the sides of the cage. Alternatively, you can glue the perch in place. This can be messy and you will need a very strong glue. After a little play, I realized that I can move the bird if I create a handle. So along one of the short ends, I pierced a hole in its window, put one end of the wire through it. I move on to the roof. I first glue a filigree bead cap to the top of the perfume bottle lid. Then I glue the ceiling. And then I glue the perfume bottle lid. I glue a small round bead to the filigree cap. In the end, I didn't like the silver wire I glued to the perfume bottle lid. I replaced it with gold wire, and as a finishing touch, I'm now gluing gold paper strips horizontally. I then glue the window frames to the sides of the birdcage. And as a finishing touch, I glue 4 wooden beads to the base of the birdcage. So there you go, Wonder Weavers. The dollhouse has a new resident, an English robin. Thank you for watching, Wonder Weavers. Now I would love to hear from you. What are you creating at the moment? Please share with us in the comments below. And don't forget, you can connect with me on other platforms. All of my details are in the description. Until the next time, Wonder Weavers, take care, stay well, and don't forget to play. Adios. Ciao. What do you think of your new friend, Cordelia? What are you going to call them?